Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I greet to all of you. So before I start my presentation, allow me to introduce myself first. So my name is SITI Balqis binti MAZLI HISHMAN and my metric number is 1201066. I am 20 years old and currently I am in my second semester of my first year in the architecture course, which I am taking in University Sains Islam Malaysia, which is situated in Nilai Negeri Sembilan, Malaysia. Enough with the simple introduction of myself. I am now going to continue with the presentation. So today I'm going to present to you the third project that I did at the end of my first semester. It is the final assignment and also an individual task that carries a total of 50% marks. The name of this project is the Individual Mobile Study Board. A brief introduction to this project. So basically this project is assigned for us to design a confined space that is suitable for a 24-hour use. We were required to design a space that is for a 24-hour use for a single occupancy, which we call the Individual Design Studio Pod. The studio pod does not have any connection with the surrounding, and the activities that can be done in the pod are related to design works, and we also need to consider the lighting, storage, health, and social distancing, but not limited to interaction with the lecturers. We also need to include items that are found in a design studio, which is drafting table, drafting chair, storage, lighting, and ventilation view. So these are the presentation board that I did for my individual mobile studio board. So there are 4 A1 boards that I did. And I'm going to talk about it, each one of it. So the first board is the one that I'll talk about the issues, which are a place to calm down and a place for alone time, the concept, which is therapeutic, having a beneficial effect on the body or mind, the Nakli study, Innamal Usri Usra, indeed with every hardship there is ease, the ideation, which is mountain, and mountain therapy, which mountain offer an amazing sense of peace, perspective, and pleasure, including some pictures below, and also the design process and the drawings of it, and also the precedent study, which is the office building Renak AG. The second board is showing drawings of the floor plan of the studio pod, including the labeling and also the dimensions, the section XX and section YY of the studio pod, including the dimensions also. So the third board is showing the drawings of the elevations of the studio pod. So they are front elevation, rear elevation, left elevation, and right elevations, including the human figure to show the anthropometric of the studio pod and the dimensions. The fourth board, which is the last board, is showing the drawings of a one-point perspective of the studio pod and also the axonometric view of the studio pod. So the first board First things first, there's a lot of issues that I have come across during the designing process. There are two issues that I encountered. The first issue is to have a place to calm down. As we know, being an architecture student is rough. There's a lot of things you need to do, such as drawings, models, preparing the presentation board, and many more tasks that you need to submit on time. Doing this task can sometimes cause stress and sometimes makes you anxious with all the words, which is not fun to experience at all. Therefore, having a place to calm down is very important because after all the hectic and the busy schedule that we have, we need to let all the worries, tension, and stress go away from you. By having a place to calm down, it can encourage us to have a healthy mind and body, which can lead us to have a more positive thought process and also helps us in making a better decision in a lot of things. The second issue is to have a place for alone time. Not gonna lie, being in the studio have you working with a lot of people, either your friends or even your lecturers. Sometimes being around a lot of people can make you feel overwhelmed and eventually drains your energy away. Therefore, being alone after all the socializing is crucial for you as you need to indulge in some me time too. You will also be able to regain your energy and be at your best. Studies have also shown that working alone increases your productivity of doing your works. Being alone also can remove distractions that allows you to concentrate better on the task. You no longer have distractions to keep you from working on what needs to be done, whether studio works or any assignments that needs to be submitted. From the issues mentioned above, I decided to come up with a concept for the individual mobile studio pod. The concept that I have chosen is therapeutic. Therapeutic is defined as having a beneficial effect on the body and mind and producing a useful or favorable result or effect. I chose therapeutic because when we see the issues, which are wanting a place to calm down and a place for alone time, it would solve both of the issues. I believe that when people are in a therapeutic place, it can benefit them in so many ways, such as reducing their stress levels and also lowering their risk of depression and anxiety. Moving on to the Nakli study. So the Nakli study for this is taken from the 94th surah in the Quran, which is Surah Ash-Sharhu, verse 6. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن مع العسر يسرا. The meaning, indeed with every hardship there is ease. Relating this verse with the issues mentioned before, so we as Allah's servants, we will always face a lot of challenges along the way, but fear not, there will always be a solution for everything, inshallah. So as far as humans, we may also feel anxious and overwhelmed sometimes, and that's totally okay. That is where the individual mobile studio pod comes in. People can go in and start to feel the therapeutic effect of it and hopefully be calm and peaceful eventually. People can also be mesmerized by just seeing the form and just remind them of how peaceful it is and just be calm after it. The ideation for the individual mobile studio pod is mountain. Mountain is chosen as the ideation of this because the mountain is often associated with being very therapeutic. There's a lot of aspects of mountain that makes the mountain so therapeutic, such as the nature of mountains and also the perspectives of the mountain itself. Even if you are seeing the mountain from afar or even physically feeling the mountains, you can experience mountain therapy as you can feel the peace and gratification offered. So you might be wondering, how do mountains can be therapeutic? Let me answer that question. So the natural beauty and mystique of the mountains always promise a uniquely satisfying experience. The peacefulness can bring a distinctly powerful sense of relaxation, naturally reducing stress and quieting the thoughts. And the therapeutic power of the mountains can deliver a sense of awe and perspective unlike any other experiences. Even the simple act of keeping mountains nearby in your everyday life, it can help set up those little reminders to keep everything in perspective even when you're not physically up on the bluffs yourselves. Also, there's this thing called mountain therapy, which basically is whether you're just viewing the mountains from a picture frame, gazing from afar, or physically climbing, mountains can offer an amazing sense of peace, perspective, and gratification. Therefore, that's why I chose mountains as the ideation for this individual mobile studio pod. For the design process, starting from the pyramid, so the pyramid shape is taken from the pyramid-shaped mountain, and then I moved the peak of the pyramid a little to the right, and then I combined the pyramid that I have moved the peak with a rectangular cuboid underneath to be able to maximize the use of the pod since it's not that big of a space. And that is the last form that I have decided for the mobile studio pod. The precedent studies that contribute to the design of this individual mobile studio pod is the office building Renac AG, which is located in Liechtenstein. The facade of my mobile studio pod is inspired by the asymmetrical pyramids facade of the office building. I do that kind of facade on the pod because I want to emphasize the rocky surface that can be seen on the mountains. The second board so as you can see from the floor plan, the width of the studio pod is 1,500 millimeters, and the length of it is 2,000 millimeters. So the length of the drafting table is 1,200 millimeters, and the width of the table is 900 millimeters. For the drafting chair is 600 millimeters for width and the length of it. And these sections are drawn using the 1:10 scale. As for the section XX and section YY, there you can see is the drafting table and also how the drafting table is, and also the pegboard that is used to put all the storages in the mobile studio pod. And also for the length of the storage is 1,200 millimeters. The height of the table is 900 millimeters. The height of the chair is 1,200 millimeters also. So the third board for the elevations, you can see that there are tires underneath it for the mobility and for it to be easy to be moved around. And also there is the human figure, which marks the anthropometric of the studio pod, and this is drawn using the scale of 1 to 10 and including the dimensions. So the height of this studio pod is 1,800 millimeters, and the width of this studio pod is 1,500 millimeters. The fourth board, which is the last board, so for the 1-point perspective drawing, I used the scale of 1 to 10 to show the interior perspective of the studio pod. So you can see the drafting table and the drafting chair. And also for the axonometric view, I used the scale of 1 to 10 to showcase the exterior of the studio pod itself and also the tires underneath it. Also, this is the model that I did. This is the elevation of the model, the left elevation, right elevation, the front elevation, and the rear elevation. As you can see from the model, I tried to incorporate all the characteristics of the mountains in designing the mobile pot to really capture the image of mountain. And then the idea of that is I wanted to make like even when you're afar, when you're like so tired and you want a place to like calm down and just have a long time, you would be like, oh, that's a mountain and I would love to go there and just be inside and just be calm and regain all your energy back, and you can reduce all the anxiety that you experience all day. The windows and the doors are left open because for easy access. The window is very broad open for easy lighting to come in to fill up the room. The pot uses timber for the facade and also the structure inside, and also I used a finishing of green paint because to make it prettier, and also the green color is chosen because it is advisable to use green color, soft green colors, because it can give soothing impact to the people who's using the therapeutic place. And also the interior of the studio pot. You can see the drafting table and the drafting chair, the pegboard that I put all the storage. Also, you can see the fluffy rug as the soft finishing inside, and also the drafting chair, as you can see, have cushion on it. Also part of the soft finishing that is advisable for a therapeutic place. It is generally advised to use light and soothing colors such as shades of green and blue. So that is why you can see I used a blue carpet on the ground, and also the interior is using a color of green because it is an advisable color to be used for a therapeutic place. It is also essential that the chairs have ample back support that can be adjustable or easily moved around. So that's why the chair is a wheelchair, so that it can be moved around and not to be fixed at one place. So it can be very nice to have that, and also be easier to do the drafting and also drawings on the drafting table. Also, using soft furnishings and floral materials such as rugs or carpets provides a soothing feel to a room and creates a sense of comfort. That is why I used a soft like rug in the studio pot, so that it can make you feel very comfy and just enjoy the space. So as you can see in the interior, I used blue and also a soft floral material because for designing a therapeutic place, it is advisable to use something soft, such as a mat, a rug, and also the color of blue is a very soft color which can gives the person calmness. And also the light green is used because it is also the color that can make you feel calm. And also for the chair is covered with cushion for the comfortness, and also it is advisable to have some soft furnishing in a therapeutic place. So for the conclusion, I'm hoping that this individual mobile studio pot that I designed can benefit a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of people that have issues with not having a place to have alone time and also to calm down. And I'm hoping to see more benefits and positive impacts when people use this. And I am hoping that this studio pot can benefit a lot of people, including myself. And I had a lot of fun doing this, and it gives me a lot of knowledge about the architecture, and I am hoping to look forward in this course and knowing more about it. And I wish all the best for everyone. Thank you.